Jacob, also known as Israel, is a significant figure in the biblical book of Genesis. He was the son of Isaac and Rebekah, grandson of Abraham and Sarah, and twin brother of Esau. Jacob is recognized as the third patriarch of the Jewish people by Judaism, and he plays significant roles in other Abrahamic faiths like Christianity and Islam as well. Jacob had two wives, Leah and Rachel, sisters who were his own first cousins. He was initially in love with Rachel and had intended to marry her, but on his wedding night, he was tricked into marrying Leah, her older sister. Later, he married Rachel as well, due to a societal practice of the time that permitted polygamy. In addition to his two wives, Jacob also had two concubines, Bilhah and Zilpah. They were the maidservants of Rachel and Leah, respectively, who gave these maids to Jacob as wives when they were unable to bear children temporarily due to fertility issues. So, in total, Jacob had 4 wives who bore him 12 sons and at least 1 daughter. These sons later became the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. The cultural and societal justification for having multiple wives during the time of Jacob was predominantly centered on maintaining lineage, social standing, and wealth. The practice of polygamy was legal and widely accepted during this period. It was also a way to ensure descendants, especially in cases where a wife was barren, as was the case with Rachel for a period. Additionally, concubines were sometimes used to increase a man's progeny, as in the case of Bilhah and Zilpah. Children born of concubines were legally recognized and held legitimate rights of inheritance. Thus, this practice served critical societal and familial functions during this historical period. Jacob initially traveled to Haran to find a wife from his mother Rebekah's family. Upon arriving, he met Rachel and loved her at first sight. Jacob agreed to work 7 years for Laban, Rachel's father, for her hand in marriage. However, after the 7 years, Laban deceived Jacob by giving him his older daughter, Leah, instead. Laban justified his actions by citing a local tradition where the older daughter must marry first. Jacob then agreed to work another 7 years in exchange for marrying his beloved Rachel. Later, Rachel and Leah gave their maidservants, Bilhah and Zilpah, to Jacob as wives to bear children on their behalf because of their own rivalry and desire for children. Divine will was tested, as God's plan for marriage was one man, one woman, but he worked through Jacob's complex family situation. Jacob's polygamous family led to tensions and rivalries among his wives and children. The sibling rivalry was serious, even leading to Joseph, Rachel's firstborn, being sold into slavery by his half-brothers. These domestic complexities, however, were woven into God's sovereign plan, eventually leading to the fulfillment of his promise to Abraham through the 12 tribes originating from Jacob's sons, who would constitute the nation of Israel. The biblical narrative of Jacob's multiple marriages serves as a complex tale of love, deceit, family struggle, and divine providence. While it was culturally acceptable at the time, the resultant family discord and challenges are evident. It illustrates the human capacity for both error and redemption, and the way God's purposes can prevail despite human frailty. The Bible doesn't explicitly condone or condemn Jacob's polygamy, but it clearly shows its difficult consequences, reminding us of the biblical ideal of monogamy for healthy family life and society.